Is this the life you imagined? There's a silent struggle happening all around us. People wake up, rush through their morning routine, and head to work, just like they did yesterday, just like they will tomorrow. They sit in traffic, squeeze into crowded trains, or endure another monotonous day at the office, counting the hours until the day is over. Then, they come home, too drained to chase anything beyond survival. This cycle repeats, over and over. And here's the terrifying part. Most people never escape it. Not because they lack intelligence, not because they lack ambition, but because they've been trained to accept this as normal. We're conditioned from an early age to believe that success looks like climbing the corporate ladder, saving diligently, and waiting patiently for retirement. But deep down, many of us know something feels off about this picture. What happens when you pause long enough to ask yourself, is this really the life I imagined? The slow surrender we're told to be responsible. Get a stable job. Save what you can. Make smart investments. And in 30-40 years, maybe, just maybe, you'll have enough money to finally start living. But here's the reality. By the time most people reach that promised future, they're either too old, too tired, or too stuck in their ways to enjoy it, and what's worse, some never make it at all. They spend decades sacrificing their best years for a future that may never come. Think about it. How many people do you know who dream of traveling the world but keep putting it off because now isn't the right time? Or those who say they'll start spending more time with family once they retire, only to find that relationships have grown distant over the years? It's not just about missed opportunities. It's about lost vitality. The energy, curiosity, and passion we bring to our younger years often fade with time. And by the time society says it's okay to live fully, many of us no longer feel capable of doing so. This slow surrender doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in gradually, disguised as responsibility. One day, you look up and realize you've traded your dreams for security, and the trade wasn't worth it. When sacrifice becomes a prison, some take this advice to the extreme. They cut every expense. They live in tiny spaces. They work non-stop, pouring every extra dollar into savings. At first, it seems like a smart strategy. After all, frugality and discipline are virtues, right? But after years of this self-imposed deprivation, something happens. They realize they're not living at all. They're existing, surviving, but not truly alive. The vacations they postponed never happened. The experiences they skipped, gone forever. The relationships they neglected, some won't recover. Take Sarah, for example. She spent her 20s and 30s pinching pennies, determined to save for a comfortable retirement. Every decision revolved around maximizing her bank account, even if it meant skipping dinners with friends, turning down trips abroad, and working late nights instead of pursuing hobbies. By her mid-40s, Sarah had amassed a sizable nest egg, but she also found herself asking, what was it all for? Her health began to decline from years of stress and neglect. Friends had drifted away, busy with their own lives, and the excitement she once felt about achieving financial independence had dulled into emptiness. She thought she was making a smart trade, but in the end, she was just delaying life. What's the alternative? The solution isn't to abandon responsibility. It's to question the roadmap we've been given. What if the goal isn't to sacrifice today for a distant tomorrow, but to build something that gives you both time and wealth sooner? That's the difference between those who stay stuck in the cycle and those who break free. They don't just work harder, they work differently. Instead of relying solely on one paycheck, they build multiple income streams. For instance, consider Mark. He started his career in a traditional 9-to-5 job, but quickly realized he wanted more control over his time. So, he began exploring side hustles, first freelancing on weekends, then launching an online course based on his expertise. Eventually, the course generated enough passive income to replace his full-time salary. Mark didn't stop there. He invested in rental properties, diversified his portfolio, and automated parts of his business. Now, he spends his days traveling, learning new skills, and mentoring others, all while earning a steady income without being tied to a desk. Others create systems that pay them continuously. Imagine building a product that solves a problem for thousands of customers, or creating digital content that generates revenue long after you've created it. These aren't pipe dreams. They're achievable strategies for anyone willing to think creatively and put in the effort up front. Finally, instead of deferring life until retirement, they design a lifestyle where freedom isn't delayed. It's built in. This might mean scaling back on unnecessary expenses to prioritize experiences over material possessions. It could involve setting boundaries at work to protect personal time. Or it might simply mean redefining what success means to you. Breaking free requires courage, of course. Breaking free from the slow surrender isn't easy. It requires courage, creativity, and a willingness to challenge societal norms. Many people hesitate because they fear failure, or worse, judgment from others. What if they try something unconventional and it doesn't work out? But here's the thing. Staying trapped in the cycle carries its own risks. Every year you delay pursuing a fulfilling life is another year wasted. Another year of potential gone untapped. Another year closer to running out of time altogether. So how do you begin? Start small. Experiment with side projects. Learn new skills. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to think bigger. Most importantly, remind yourself why you're doing this. Freedom isn't just about money. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, and your sense of purpose. The biggest lie we're told is that safety comes from sticking to the script. But the truth? Following the normal plan doesn't guarantee success. It just guarantees predictability. And predictability is not the same as freedom. Ask yourself, are you moving toward the life you actually want? Or are you just following a path that someone else decided for you? Because if your days feel like a routine you can't escape, it's time to rewrite the story. Life is too short to settle for mediocrity. Don't let the slow surrender steal your best years. Whether you're dreaming of adventure, connection, or simply more peace of mind, remember this. You don't have to wait until retirement to live fully. Freedom isn't a destination, it's a choice. Choose wisely.